We should be live. I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. Just. Just go here. Okay, now I just need to resend it. No, that's great. Oh, okay. I love my zero. It's so cool. I love when nobody watches my things. I was kind of expecting. I'm just gonna wait for a bit. Just grab some water. Stay hydrated. Miren los comentarios. Lo hice como si lo puedo hacer. Panels. Yay! We have one audience member. Hello. We are live. I did the thing that I promised. Hooray! So real quick, I'm gonna fetch some water, and then we'll get to explaining what we're doing today. Hooray! BRB. Very yums. I'm back. I'll get to it. I'll get to posting something on TikTok. I just needed to do this first. Starting with what is it? I was gonna do a thing. This ain't it. Lo voy a compartir rápidamente en Instagram y ya. Creo que bien. Setting it up. Excusas, es como si fuera lo más fácil del mundo. Ah, sí, y el otro día el colegio, o sea, publicaron lo del escape room este. Y ya luego inmediatamente después publicaron, ay sí, los infantiles están teniendo la fiesta de agua. Y me pareció muy gracioso, la verdad. Jaja, muy gracioso. ¿Sabes qué? No, lo voy a publicar en la otra cuenta. Es que me da mucha pereza que lo vean los del colegio. Enlace. Aquí. Publicado. Qué bien. Sí, aquí la people los han aburrido. Chequen Jackie, qué bien. Me encanta el chicken jockey. Es mi favorito. Visualizaciones 5. Bueno, pues explico más o menos lo que voy a hacer para la people que me está viendo. Dejo esto por aquí. Dejo aquí por si acaso cualquier cosa. Bueno, pues voy a hacer mi foto de perfil primero. Sara, que te conozco. Bueno, el canal. Y ya está. Súper maravillosa. La garganta la tengo maravilloso. Magnifique. XD. Me alegro que sigáis vivos. Voy a mirar el chat de vez en cuando, pero no lo sé. La captura de cursor me da a mí que no va, pero bueno. Se nos sobrevive. Bueno, pues ¿qué tal la semana, el día conmigo? Todo el día, bueno, no sé, ¿qué tal los exámenes? Los exámenes de la people. Que ya sé que sufrimos mucho en conjunto. Ah, pues sí, resulta que sí. Ahora un momento. Ay, que sí. Después jugarás al Dandy's World, a lo mejor. Sí. ¿Te quieres unir? Luego, si eso, les presentamos al público. We present to the public after I finish doing the gay thing. My gay things, hooray! Liria, sigues ahí viviendo, sobreviviendo. Voy a poner un poquito de musiquita de fondo. Voy a poner a Kevin MacLeod, el mejor. Que no sé si me matará esto. Creo que la soundtrack de Undertale no tenía copyright. Así que vamos a poner eso. Envíaselo a Inés. lo pongo así de bajito. Super ASMR, super... ¡Wow! Yo sé exactamente lo que estoy haciendo todo el rato. Y sé 100% que tiene copyright. Es una mentira como una casa, yo no sé qué tiene copyright y qué no. O sea, sé que la gran mayoría de canciones sí tienen copyright, pero es que no sé cuáles no. Sí se me entiende. ¿A qué me mandáis 100 euros? No, es broma. Yo nunca os haría eso. Yo nunca os haría mandar dinero. Menos si queréis mandarme 87.000 euros. Yo a esa idea no me opongo. Una cosa. Fruitcakes. Sí, muy de hecho sí. Long leaf fruitcake, la verdad. Si os dais cuenta, en el ordenadorcito este hay un semi-referencia a fruitcake. Ayer me tiré, ya no me acuerdo cuánto me tiré, haciendo el condenado, las pegatinitas del ordenadorcito este. Hay muchas referencias. Voy a mirar el Live Studio really quickly. Una cadena de chat, 6 visualizaciones y 3 me gusta. Ojito, cuidado. Some people from the gang really like me. Thank you. I love fruitcake, guys. I would kill for fruitcake. Not really, but oh well. Hablando de fruitcake, lo atacan sin ninguna razón. I don't understand the fruitcake hate. Well, I mean, I understand it. The hate, like, the shippers are very toxic, but like that's about it. I love fruitcake. It's my favorite ship ever. It's saved my life. It has cured my depression, it has cured my anxiety, it has cured everything. And it has given life to my second child. It's a joke. Maybe Twisted Sprout. Maybe Sprout could be my baby daddy, but that's about it. I really like Twisted Sprout. Maybe later we'll be able to see my expertise on Sprouts and Twisted Sprout distracting, because I acquire the role of distractor in every round I'm on, because if you've been on a public lobby, trust me when I say those come on, say what you say again. Oh, Dandy's World OC reference? This is my Dandy's World OC, I say as I stare at a cat. No. It would be, more accurately, it would be a... What is it called? A Kincerna. What is a Kincerna? Let me just look it up. I can look it up. I can look at stuff. I can look it up. I'll just search for the definition. Kincerna. What is it? Kinsona is a type of original character or fan character that takes attributes of one or more canon characters and implements them into the design of the original character. No sé qué es un Deku Dog, la verdad. I don't know what a Deku Dog is. They are my child. Eclipse Sight is my child. Okay, they're technically a double Kinsona. They are a Shadow Sight and Cosmo Kinsona. My autism cannot take it. It's very fun. I would recommend it. I would recommend having a lot of Kinsona. I would have made a lot of Kinsonas, but I thought they were cringe. Oh, look at this! I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my lord, I don't like that shirt. I don't like that. Me no likey. I don't like how that looks though. I'll get to posting on TikTok at some point. Jeez, it starts at the arm. My problem starts at the arm, and then I'm acting as if I always draw like this. No, the usual thing is like I zone out for a total of 2 hours looking at YouTube videos, and then I'll just come back and then I'll finish the piece and I'll say, oh yes, this took 7 hours. It actually took like 30 minutes, except those extra 6 hours and a half are just me looking at space and saying, oh, I love this ship. Oh, I still don't like how the arm turned out though. Here. Okay, how's the gang doing? We've got one guy. Well, I don't know. There's like, it says 1 recurrent viewer and 6 views. We got two simultaneous viewers and then 3 likes. We like those numbers. I actually, it's pretty good for my first YouTube presence. I think it's fine. Any other particular questions? Oh yeah, the sketch. Why does the sketch look like that? Why is it so ugly and disgusting and looks like it's made in MS Paint? That's because it is. Don't you dare call my sketches ugly. They're pretty. They're more beautiful than you are. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're way prettier than yours. I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. I think we move on to colors, right, gang? Neat. A very quick thing before we continue on. We cannot move the thing. We cannot do the thing. No, I haven't put anything in. 1, 2, and then 3. Like I usually film all of my drawings, you know, whatever I do, but I usually never post them because I'm too shy. I'm shy. I'm shy and nervous. Ooh, I'll post the main reason which I'm doing this is because I'm gonna post to Artfight. I don't know if like Favorite Cookie Run character. Pretty hard pick. Wait, I should get to drawing. No, I should get to drawing. My favorite Cookie Run character is my favorite Cookie Run Kingdom character. I would say a Shadow Milk Cookie, but that would be corny. And B, also not true, because my first favorite character is never usually my favorite in the end. I don't know how that ear turned out. Why am I doing this? Why am I? I'm shy when people look at me. Ugh. This drawing might suck, or it might not. I might be a genius, but I don't know. I might get shy. Okay, I think I like that ear. Yeah, that looks better, I think. I'm more happier with that ear. Cookie Run Kingdom. I've completely avoided the question, I think. It's Shadow Milk Cookie. Shadow Milk. It's the man. It's the man! And lately, into the more recent fandoms I've been in, I cannot tell the difference between guy and gal. It's so... Ugh. You know Fruitcake, right? The beautiful Dandy's World ship that has driven the Dandy's World fandom apart, I think. It's joined them together and tore them apart at the same time. I thought they were girls. I thought it was Yuri at first, until I actually went on the Dandy's World wiki, you know, like the one you usually look for references in. And then I looked at Cosmos because I was more interested in Cosmos route at first. Turns out he was a boy. And I thought, yeah, that's surely a straight ship. I was lying to myself at that point. And it turns out it wasn't. Sprout is also a guy. And now I headcanon both of them as trans guys. Trans guys and very flimsy on that too. Maybe. They both transitioned. Like, I mean, to their F2M trans guys, both of them. But I'm very flimsy on whether I want Cosmo to stay like that or... Oh, yeah, the arm too. Whether I want Cosmo to stay like that or just let them be like me. And let them be non-binary like me. Like me, I am a creature. Talk to me. I like answering questions at drawing at the same time. I like rambling on something. Like, for example, the other day that I spent, I don't know, I was doing a solo run. I got a pebble on floor 10 as Yada. I hate pebble. I hate pebble. I hate pebble because I main goob. I'm a goob main. So I distract with him. Separate tangents. Why are goobs so stupid? Why are the stupid goob mains on the main lobby? And then I look at the trinkets. It's fancy purse and fishing rod or some kind of variation of that. Every single time I forgot the freckles. Yes, me too. I would agree on that. Those are my favorite lines. I would have them as vocal stems, except I don't. Very cool. Can you all hear the Undertale music? Is it like hearable? I know I am because I've tested the mic. I've tested the mic from this spot, I think, and it's fine. If there are any like audio or just general visual problems, just tell me. I am a person to. What am I looking at? No, there's nothing more to it. Like, I would participate more in other fandoms, except Dandy's World has had me in a chokehold lately. And so far, I've been unable to enjoy other sources of media. Let me just not forget the freckles, just this once. Yay! I don't have freckles. This is my Sona, by the way. It's not just like a random guy. They look like a guy, actually. They very much have very guy aesthetics. They are not. They're literally me. They're a non-binary lesbian, just like me. I am. I should update my bio on all socials and my profile picture because I keep flimsing because I thought, oh yeah, non-binary people can't be lesbians. And then Jazzy Oliver came around, and that was great. You know, chat, do you know? Yes, what? Very loud yes, I love that from the crowd, but we love that from chat. My greatest supporter, thank you so much. It's only been 5 minutes. Am I basically finished with the guy? Oh my god, I might actually have time to do a ref. Or I'm not nearly finished. I'm almost. Like, yeah, like, of course, this is a line picture. I was just thinking about how long I usually take on drawing stuff like these. Things like these. And I was thinking, yeah, I usually take like an hour on these. The worst part is usually the sketch. I hate doing sketches on my main program. That's why I switched to like, what's it called? Paint, MS Paint. I really like the sketchiness of MS Paint. I love being corny. I love being corny and dumb. Because, for example, this man's sweater. I do not draw sweaters on cats. All of my other... I was gonna give him leg warmers. They're all pronouns. All pronouns are allowed. I say he and they a lot. They also use she, her. They're she, her, he, him, they, them. No, it's kind of like a NERPS situation where I just say, oh yeah, it's all pronouns, except I use he, him on him all the time. And now he's just kind of developed. I really also don't mind what pronouns you use on him. I don't care. He is still all pronouns. It's just I very much do tend to give him he, him. You can call him whatever you want. You can call them by whatever pronouns you want. I will not bite you. I wanted to use a NERP stuff or some weird ass freaking near pronoun or something like that, but then I said no. Would I use that in real life? And then I said no. Because my beautiful classmates would make fun of me. They would make fun of me. They would make fun. Okay. Gang, how are we doing? What are we eating? What was the last thing we have eaten? Stay alive. Stay alive. Look alive, people. We love you. We in our 100% people glory do love you. We love you. We love chat. I'll play Dandy's World later. I'll give Gang more riveting gameplay. Thank goodness. Oh my god. I was debating when I was making the rough sheet whether I should give them like the Tiffy Tiffs like in the ref sheet, and at first it was like a no, I won't use the Tiffy Tiffs that much. That was a lie. That was a very bad lie. I use them a lot. No, can I make a layer? That's a lie. I do use the teeth a lot. I ended up using the teeth a lot more than I expected. Anyway, nothing to ramble about. ¿Cómo que se burlan de usted? You know how the people at my beautiful school are. It's funny how they haven't bullied me yet. Like, yeah, they've excluded me. That's why I hang out. My loyal viewer. We will miss you. That sucks. Well, if you can join later, we will try to do the thing. Okay. If you can join later, just join later. I think I'll stay alive for a bit. Rambling. Bye. So, yeah. Such confident strokes. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna my strokes are very confident, but I don't know what I'm doing like 95% of the time. Just kidding. I do know what I'm doing. I would do stuff like when I was starting that I did not know. What was I saying? Like before I started to develop my like style, I used to do things like, oh yeah, I see this random ass artist doing, well, popular artist A doing something. I was like, oh yeah, I like them. I like how they draw. I'm gonna copy a little bit, not their style obviously, but just this thing that they do in their process. I'm sure this will help me a ton. I did not know what I was doing, and I did the thing, and it was there. I used to do line art straight up. I think, if I remember correctly, that was also this like particularly colored line art came in later. I think it was. Cheers. I was saying something 100%. I forget what I was saying. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I used to do stuff in my process that I didn't know what it was for, and it was fun. I was on that. Here's the eye. Here's the thing. And then I used to copy a lot of. I did not. Yeah. Okay. I was talking about the liner. I was talking about this funny color that I use on my line art. that I usually don't like mess with too much. And if you inanimate insanity freaks remember, not Experiment 21. I know gang remembers Experiment 21. I mean this other one. It was called Inanimate Experiments, I think it was like. Very, very evil. Very, very evil test tube. Did very, very evil things to my baby girl paintbrush. I love paintbrush. I made like a ref sheet. I made a paintbrush cat ref sheet, which I will put in art fight. I will do the art fight. This is technically for art fight. So this is for art fight. This is art fight. Material. I don't know. There's this comic known as Inanimate Experience, which they use this particular color, and I thought that, wow, this artist is super cool. So I just copied their line art. I just copied and pasted it. It was Clown Town. They liked one of my posts 20 bajillion years ago. I did fan art of their thing, and they mentioned me in the story, and I got super excited, and I screenshotted the repost. Okay, I was doing the glasses. The tism is very strong. I hope people like the Undertale soundtrack. Actually, Deltarune's pretty soon, right? I can't remember. I cannot for the life of me remember when Deltarune. It's the 5th of June. It's the 5th of June. Deltarune tomorrow, guys. And this time, the fans aren't tweaking. The fans aren't tweaking. It's Deltarune. Deltarune is not tomorrow. It's in 3 days. I might. You know what? I'll draw like a thumbnail for a Dandy's World stream, and then I'll stop this stream, I think, and I'll do a Dandy's World one, just so I can have it. That seems nice, right? I don't know how glosses work. Also, I'm too lazy to check. A little bit less, like a 30%, yeah. I am. Very yummy water. We love water. Stay hydrated, gang. There's like nobody watching me at this point, but I will pretend. I think. Oh wait, no. There's one. No, there's 0 simultaneous viewers. There's nobody watching me right now. Okay. Alright, I'll just keep rambling. Just for keeping the record straight. Okay. Like these little flags, I think. What are these little flags? Like a flag pole. Okay, can you? I'd really like these little pride flags. That you can just get sometimes. It would be really cool. Well, I can make them. I just very lazy. I don't know if chat's really open. kind of like a little brown color, like a beige. Brown. It's brown. It is not brown. Trust me, it's not brown. I can tell you with a 100% confidence that it's not brown. And you people can see my sketching process too. Well, nobody can see my sketching process, but nobody's here. But just give detail to one part of the flag, like always. I'll add a little tiny small detail on one part of the drawing, and then I won't give as much attention to the rest of it. Okay, there you go. Very cool, gang. Alright, it was here in avatars, eclipse. I don't really mind. Just like whip it out. Because I actually do want to play like Dandy's World. Dandy's World has had me in the circle. Have I mentioned that? I have mentioned that. I've mentioned that several times. Okay, so anyone joined the chat? Nobody's joined the chat. That sucks, though. Like, I like the people. I don't know if people like me. I don't know if the people liked me. I'm assuming maybe. This is kind of like a friends only stream because I haven't really gotten that popular. I'm not a popular creator by any means. I'm a very small, itty bitty person with like itty bitty dreams. I think my dreams are slightly realistic. Like just 10 subscribers or something like that, and whatever I post on TikTok and Instagram too. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't. I'll post here too. I'll post longer form videos here, and I'll promote it on all socials. Except I've linked the the link tree here, but I don't think I have the store page set up here yet. Which sucks. For any of you thinking, why isn't the ear painted? Because I'm gonna do something. I'm patient. Little wrangle. Okay, what am I saying? Patient little invisible person. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to painting that ear in a second. I should probably get like after this, I'll probably. No, I wanted to delete. Oh, I really like this painty style that I've been in development. Like, I started last year with... I think... Well, that's the farthest it will let me go. I think, like, here is a good end to it. Like, right here. I refuse to study for anything at the moment. I've been tense, really tense, and I just need to decompress for just like a little bit. It was streaming to gang, invisible gang. Oh, 3 likes. I don't know. I can just assume things. I don't know if it's for better or worse. You don't know if it's better for worse. I do. I can't read my own thoughts, but I can read yours. Kind of vibes, but no. What do you mean kind of vibes? Who said that? Who said that sentence? Nobody except me. Okay, we can just ruffle the ears a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks decent. Definitely makes like a long. Yeah, I like it. I like the thing. Oh my goodness, my back's itchy. It's so itchy. My body, like in general's been kind of dog shit recently. Nobody's watching my stream. That's great. I love when that happens. I love when nobody watches my stuff. Lol. Whatever. We can't just sit here and complain all day. We need to advance in the city. Okay, finish with this. We can do this. Ooh, make it a little bit more obvious that it's a fiction kid. Ooh, that's so scary, right? That's gonna be my profile picture for like at least another 7 months. I'll probably change like the one on YouTube because I don't know how long it's been since I've changed my YouTube profile picture. It's been a while, I think. So that's just great. I've changed it on literally every other social at least twice this year, but I haven't touched YouTube that much. I haven't touched the profile picture that much either. It's the piece on what was it? My profile, my YouTube was a one that I did at the start of the year. For literally no reason. I just really liked Dawn was my main sauna for a hot while until I switched to Gay Boy here. Gay Boy represents me a lot better than you do because I am a gay boy. Because I'm a gay lesbian. I am a lesbian who also likes boys sometimes. Just kidding. But maybe it is. Maybe you don't know. Yeah, I think it's shadow side enough. Okay, so let me just do a thing that I always do, which is not a gradient. It's not a gradient because I don't use the gradient tool. It is technically a gradient, but I haven't used the gradient tool in forever. I don't know. I don't like cheating, I say, as I get dragged the room that's gold. It is not cheating. I'm not cheating anything. I just like how it looks. I can admit to something. Trust me, people. It won't kill me. I swear, nobody will die if you say, oh yeah, I use a gradient tool. Okay. I do not. I'm not part of a company. I am a person which can use tools. Use tools to draw. It makes me happy. Except it makes me a lot happier to just have this. Okay, I think it's good. I think it's fine. I think we can safely remove this, right? Yeah. The other things might be a little bit. Okay, here you go. Just kind of shimmy this right here. And as always, I made the stripes uneven. Just move it. That's great. This has never happened to me before, guys. That's why I say it with a sigh. And then, I made the lines too big again. I made them bigger than last time. I should. Should I make a little outline? Yeah, I should. It's fine. I think an outline would be good. Like a little semi-transparent outline. I think it's it. You're not doing it right. You need to do it with like a 20 key combination. No. How about Tech Lord, Genius, Mr. Doofensmirts? How about you leave me alone? I know there's like a 20 key combination to do the exact same thing. I just don't like it because they give me the pen texture I want, okay? I just don't like the pen texture on the thing. Okay, dude. Okay. It's kind of like an off-white. I really like I do not like regular white. I like on off-white color. Let me just use regular white to clear, to brighten this up, to make the silhouette a little more, you know, make the focus, the actual focus here, and then we just great. Okay, and now we have a little Cosmo Star, which we can just replace it. We can always just replace it, right? Isn't that right, gang? We love replacing things. We can pretend like those weren't even there, and nobody would know the difference. Is that right? Oh yes, it is right. It is very right because I am not always right. I'm not always right. I'm not right even like a 55% of the time. A coin would be more accurate. Yes or no questions, because sadly a coin has not reached the point of telling you whether the president of, you could ask a dice. You just assign a random thing to a dice. Yes, you could. Except maybe. Well, no. If you weighed down the options, then you could. Except some people don't have that time. No, JK. Everyone should have that time. I think. Like to weigh down. Oh my goodness! I haven't signed my piece. Ugh. What am I doing? I should be permanently banned from anything ever. I know. Okay, let me just save. And then save as A. We save the one with the signature. And then we save the one without the signature. No, what am I doing? 3B. Yeah. Does Mitski have anything against... Who was it? Does Mitski have... I was talking about... Is it... It is not. No. I'll sketch like a who was it? Zero simultaneous. There was a guy earlier. Whatever. No. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Your average viewer could view for 6 minutes. Very fair. I am very annoying sometimes. I'm very annoying. I'm super annoying. How about we... Should I just not give a crap and just do it anyway? Or should I give a crap and not do it and just not immediately start streaming? Yeah, that would suck. What am I doing? Like, this stream is not monetized. I just don't want to face anything. Oh wait, no, it was my BBG. unless you don't want to, except you're not forced to do anything. Oh, so just went down to 6. That's great. Yeah, nobody watching my stream. That's right. Just like immigrant. Okay, yeah, copyright. Is great. I can't type. Copyright. No. Well, I'm just going to not care. Okay, whatever. Just keep. MS Paint, and then when I delete that, it should stay the same, and that way we don't have what I call I do things sometimes known as forgetting to replace the thing, because I've told this before. I do videos. I like film what I do, and then sometimes I forget to activate the mic. That was a whole shenanigan. It sucked. I hated it. It was very mean and evil. Let me just look at our references. Really quickly, let me just see who's looked at my promotion of the story. This is like this all the time. It says, oh yes, I'm going to post the thing, I'm going to do the thing that I was supposed to do, and they just forget it. I just get distracted and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do whatever. I was gonna check the story. I'm glad that the people liked the Nights on Yuri. What is the Nights on Yuri, you may be? I don't know, man. I do things sometimes. This is not. This isn't. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for this. I will not get paid for this. I will not get paid for this. I will not get paid for this. I trust me. I will not die. Okay, we're gonna listen to John Mulaney together as a family of 23 people. There's a family of me and one viewer, which just so happens to be not my cookie.
How are you? Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's so nice of you. I hope you're having a good week. Thank you for being here. I'm doing well myself.
I haven't actually drawn any dinosaur characters.
I'm very excited about that. I was hoping by now that I would look older, but it didn't happen. I don't look older. I just look worse, I think. Honestly, when I'm walking down the street, no one's ever like, hey, look at that man. I think they're just like, whoa, that tall child looks terrible. Get some rest, tall child. You can't keep burning the candle at both ends. You ever seen on America's Most Wanted when they age a photo of someone? Just take my kindergarten photo and yellow the teeth and put bags under the eyes and be like, this is what he would look like now. I was a very nervous kid. I was anxious all the time when I was younger. But what's nice is that some of the things I was anxious about don't bother me at all anymore. Like, I always thought that quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem than it turned out to be. Because if you watch cartoons, quicksand is like the third biggest thing you have to worry about in adult life. Behind real sticks of dynamite and giant anvils falling on you from the sky. I used to sit around and think about what to do about quicksand. I never thought about how to handle real problems in adult life. I was never like, oh, what's it going to be like when relatives ask to borrow money? Now I've gotten older, not only have I never stepped in quicksand, I've never even heard about it. No one's ever been like, hey, if you're coming to visit, take I-90, because I-95 has a little quicksand in the middle. Looks like regular sand, but then you're going to start to sink into it. I was nervous all the time, but I had a good family. I have wonderful parents. A lot of guys my age, I'll hear them say this. They go, every day I think I'm becoming more like my dad. I think I'm becoming more like my mom. Because I was watching that show, Access Hollywood, and one of the reporters said, up next, we have an exclusive interview with Sandra Bullock's former husband, Jesse James. And out loud, I went, ugh, this ought to be good. That's pure mom. My parents are both lawyers. They are both lawyers. And sometimes they would be like lawyers with us when we were kids. I remember one time I was in bed, and my dad came in and he said, good night, John. Did you brush your teeth? And I said, yes. But here's the thing. I hadn't. But who cares? I didn't have like a job interview or anything. So my dad comes back in a couple minutes.
Well, actually, real quick. Who's on the board? Who's on the... no.
This is your toothbrush. Then he said, John, this toothbrush is bone dry. Like he looked down and he said, bone dry. He said, you lied to me. I said, Dad, I did not lie. I said that I brushed my teeth. I never specified that I brushed my teeth tonight. And if the court reporter reads back my remarks, you will see that I did not perjure myself. My mom's also a lawyer. She was a different kind of lawyer.
Who's on the twisted board? I hope it's Twisted Sprout.
She would just make wild accusations all day long and wait for something to stick. My mom would blame me for things
Twisted Astro is on the freaking board. Are you kidding me?
One morning when I was a kid and my mom was standing over my bed and she said, I just heard that Princess Diana and her lover, Dodi Al-Fayed, have been killed in Paris. Like I had something to do with it.
That's...
I was like, Mom, I have been here all night. You can feel the TV. It's warm.
That's just great.
Luckily, I had a good alibi since I was in Wisconsin and 12.
I know how Twisted Pillow looks. I don't know.
My brothers and sisters and I had this babysitter named Veronica when we were kids.
Blah, 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 blah.
I was in love with
Blah,
Veronica.
blah,
She would babysit us on Saturday nights. And in my head, When I was a little kid, I thought that Veronica was like 25, 30 years old. I was just talking to my mom the other week. I found out that when I was 10, Veronica was 13. So why was she in charge?
It
All
was
she could
Twisted
do was
Pebble.
dial the telephone a little better than I could. 13 when I'm 10, that's just like hiring a slightly bigger child. That would be like if you're going out of town for the week and you paid a horse to watch your dog.
Pebble.
Like, all right, here is the number where we'll be, and here's where we keep the dog food, and you're a horse. Why do people do that? People always shush animals. They go, hey, shh. They've never spoken. I always wanted to live in New York when I was a kid. I'm so excited that I get to live in New York. I saw New York City in a movie when I was a kid. It was called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It is a sequel. Yeah, how about that movie? It was a sequel to the movie Home Alone. I remember in that movie, the kid in Home Alone 2, he gets into a stretch limousine on 5th Avenue with a large cheese pizza, and I thought, this is the height of luxury! Now I live in New York, and I'm psyched, but that is a stupid movie title. Lost in New York, the streets are numbered. How'd you get lost in New York? I know it's kind of stupid to complain about a movie that came out 17 years ago, but I wasn't a comedian back then. So I have to do it now. I wish I'd been a Def Jam comic when that movie came out. I would have torn it to pieces. Be like, you seen this shit? You seen this Home Alone 2 Lost in New York shit? It's a grand system, motherfucker. Where you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? 11 up and 1 over, you simple bitch. That'd be my big joke. That'd be the closer. If I was a Def Jam comic when that movie came out. But alas, I was not. I think the bullying that young people have to go through now in schools is really rough. I really sympathize because I was bullied when I was a kid. When I was in grade school, I was bullied for being Asian American. And the biggest problem with that is that I am not Asian American. But when I was younger, and this is absolutely true, people thought that I might be Asian American. I have pretty thin eyes. I had very thin eyes when I was a little kid, and I had straight black hair that I wore in a bowl cut. And from the ages of 3 to 8, people thought that I might be a young Chinese person. On the first day that he met me, the guy that is now my best friend, he met me the first day of kindergarten. He went home that night and said, Papa, today I met a boy with no eyes. And that was me. Kids would make fun of me in middle school. Kids would call me a Chinaman, which of the racial slurs has got to be the laziest. That is just pushing two words together. No work was done there. It was very confusing to me because I'm not Chinese. No one in my family is remotely Asian. I mean, we take our shoes off when we come inside, but that was more of a carpeting thing than anything else. Here's how bad it got, though. I remember when I was in junior high, we had this music appreciation class that we never appreciated. And they took us to hear some classical music once at a symphony orchestra. So we go to a symphony orchestra. In one of these classical pieces, there's a moment where they bang a gong. And every time they banged the gong, all the kids sitting in front of me would stand up, turn to me, and bow like that. Which is some racist-ass bullshit, but also incredibly well coordinated for a group of 13-year-olds. 13-year-olds are the meanest people in the world. They terrify me to this day. If I'm on the street on like a Friday at 3 p.m. and I see a group of 8th graders on one side of the street, I will cross to the other side of the street because 8th graders will make fun of you in an accurate way. They will get
I have
to the
not
thing
checked
that
on
you
the
don't like
stream.
about you.
Nobody's watching.
They don't even need to look at you for long. They'll just be like, ha 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 ha.
That's great.
Hey,
That
look at that high-waisted man. He got
I
feminine hips.
love
And
when
I'm
that
like,
happens.
no, that's the thing I'm sensitive about. When I was a boy, I was also confused with a woman sometimes over the phone because before I went through puberty, I had a voice like a little flute. I I was once on the telephone with Blockbuster Video, which is a very old-fashioned sentence. And it is. I was on the telephone with Blockbuster Video. That's like when your grandma would be like, we'd all go play jacks down at the soda fountain. You're like, no one knows what you're talking about, you idiot. You know how you talk to your grandma? So, I was on the phone with Blockbuster. I'd called them a couple of times in one day to ask about a movie. And I called for a third time. I said, hey, yeah, I was just calling to see if you had Addams Family Values yet. And the guy at Blockbuster went, hey, lady, I'll tell you when we get Addams Family Values. But look, I wasn't offended as a boy being confused with a lady. I was offended as a lady who was getting pushed around by this chauvinist asshole that works at Blockbuster Video, talking to me like I'm some floozy. I am a proud Asian American woman, and you will treat me with respect. I am a tiger mom. Now when people make fun of me, I deserve it. I do. When people get mad at me now, it's my fault. Like when people get mad at me on the highway, that's all my bad. I'm a terrible driver. I know nothing about cars. I meant to learn about cars, and then I forgot. Nothing that I know can help you with your car ever. Unless you're like, hey, I've got a flat tire. Does anyone here know a lot about The Cosby Show? And then you'll be like, oh, perhaps I could be of some assistance. I'm one of the worst drivers I've ever seen, and I just want you all to know that if you're ever on the highway behind me, I hear you honking, and I also don't want me to be doing what I'm doing. I don't like that I'm in that lane either, and I sure would like to get out of it. I was on the highway in Texas recently, which was like a highway filled with 13-year-olds, and I was in the far left lane. And I was going in the far left lane, and then it turned into a U-turn only lane. And I started to make a U-turn, but then I panicked because I didn't want to make a U-turn. So I put the car in reverse and then merged right back onto the highway. The best thing about that was that after that, cars were pulling up and looking over to see who just did that piece of shit move, expecting to see like a 100-year-old blind dog who's texting while driving and drinking a smoothie. Instead, they see a 28-year-old healthy man trying his best.
I want Twisted Spurs so bad. Why couldn't it have been him on the board except as Astro?
On a major TV show, you have to be careful about what you say about people because a lot of people could get offended, or so it has been explained to me. I was once, I'll tell you this, I was writing for an awards show once and I got into some trouble. I wrote a joke for this awards show that had the word midget in it. And someone from the network came down to our offices and he said to me, hey, you can't put the word midget on TV. And I said, I sure would like to. And he said, no, midget is as bad as the N-word. First off, no. No, it's not. Do you know how I know it's not? I said to him, is because we're saying the word midget and we're not even saying what the N-word is. If you're comparing the badness of two words and you won't even say one of them, that's the worst word. Also, I don't mean to gloss over what like little people have been through in this country, but you cannot compare the plight of midgets to African Americans. That is outrageous. Midgets were never enslaved, unless you count the Wonka factory. So we get into this argument, we're going back and forth. He goes, you can't put that word on TV. And I said, I want to. And he goes, if you put that word on TV, there could be a protest of midgets on this building. And I said, promise? How tempting would that be? I don't mean to complain about censorship at all, though, because as you probably have seen by now, you can basically say whatever you want on television. It's ridiculous. You can say anything you want. And if you don't believe me, you should watch a little program called Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Yeah, a show that I love, because on that show, you can say the grossest things you've ever heard in your life. No, you can't say like the F word. You can't say that on Special Victims Unit. But people walk around on SVU going like, looks like the victim had anal contusions. Yo, looks like we found semen and fecal matter in the victim's ear canal. Those are two real things that I heard on Law and Order SVU at 3 in the afternoon. Both spoken by Ice-T. Ice-T is a detective with the Special Victims Unit. He handles New York's most sensitive cases. I love Ice-T on SVU. He is fantastic. He's awesome. What's so great about him is that he's been with the SVU for like 11 years now. But he still treats every case like it's his first in terms of total confusion. Sometimes they'll be in the middle of an investigation and Ice-T will be like, yo, you telling me this dude gets off on little girls with pigtails? It's like, yeah, Ice. He's a pedophile. You work in the sex crimes division. You're gonna have to get used to that. You know how they try and tie in like current events to every episode of SVU? So there was this episode I saw a while ago that was about sex addiction, because a lot of celebrities had come out as sex addicts. So the episode's about sex addiction. There is a scene in the episode where the other detectives are trying to teach Ice-T what sex addiction is. And it takes a couple of minutes. And finally, Ice-T gets it, and they cut to him in this close-up, and he goes, oh, I get it. You mean like when someone drinks too much, or snorts cocaine, or bets the house on the ponies? I was like, yeah, you got it, man. And I was psyched that Ice-T understood, so that they could continue with the investigation. But I could have watched another 4 hours of Ice-T just naming examples. Just that close up. And Ice-T like when someone smokes too many cigarettes. Or like when someone shops too much with credit cards. Or like when someone plays too many scratchy lotteries. Or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake. Or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake and then barfs it up. And he would just keep talking and it would slowly fade out and say executive producer Dick Wolf. That'd be my ideal episode. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I saw this SVU a little while ago. I saw this episode of SVU. And Dean Cain was a rapist on the show. And there was a scene where they do a lineup with Dean Cain and 4 other guys. And they bring in this woman who's going to look at the lineup, and it's her behind the glass, and they open the curtain, and she's standing with the 2 other detectives, and I knew she wasn't going to say this, but part of me was hoping she would just be like, is that Dean Cain? Fucking Dean Cain? It's pretty cool. I also watched this show called Cold Case Files. On Cold Case Files, they solve old murders, and it's really interesting because what I learned from it is that it was really easy to get away with murder before they knew about DNA. It was ridiculously easy. Like, what was even going on back then? What was a murder investigation like in 1935? One cop would just walk in and be like, "Detective, we found a pool of the killer's blood in that hallway." He would just be like, gross. Mop it up. Now then, back to my hunch. Look for clues. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll draw chalk around where the body is. That way we'll know where it was. A couple years ago, I saw this movie called Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. It was about old bank robbers and stuff. Here's how easy it was to get away with bank robbery back in the 30s. As long as you weren't still there when the police arrived, you had a 99% chance of getting away with it. To the point that, like, those old bank robbers, they take credit for the bank robberies. Like, they come running out of there and they're like, ha ha ha! And if anyone asks you, tell them it was Golden Joe and the Suggins gang. And then they, like, shoot Suggins into the side of the wall. It's like, what, were bullets free back then? And they don't even disguise themselves. They dress up for the bank robbery. They're rolling in there in like big suits and hats like they're going to church in Atlanta. They make a day of it. I don't know about that. Oh, good, it has a mind of its own. That's very reassuring. No. I don't like robots thinking of things. Hope you don't mind that I dressed up. It was my first communion today, so I decided to come right from it. It's a very good First communicant. Thank you for coming to this show, by the way. I really do appreciate you coming to a thing because you didn't have to. And it's really easy not to go to things. It is so much easier not to do things than to do them that you would do anything is totally remarkable. Percentage-wise, it is 100% easier not to do things than to do them. And so much fun not to do them, especially when you were supposed to do them. In terms of like instant relief, canceling plans is like heroin. It is an amazing feeling.
Because I am a vintage goob.
Such
I am
instant joy.
goob. Salad.
Kids don't like that. Kids always want to do stuff. Kids get angry. They go, "Oh, we didn't do anything all day." If you ever ask an adult what they did over the weekend and they say they didn't do anything, their faces light up. You're like, "What'd you do this weekend?" I did nothing. I did nothing at all. Did we do anything? No, I didn't do anything. People especially don't want to do their jobs. I've found that out recently too. I have a friend named Megan. She's an elementary school teacher, and I was out with her one night, and she was drinking like a monster. And I said to her, "Don't you have to do a shift at school tomorrow?" And she went, "I'll just show a video." And I was like, "That's why teachers show videos?" She said this, she goes, "Yeah, I don't want to work." And I was like, "You know, the kids don't want to work either." And she was like, "Good." I really do. I was psyched to do it in New York. I'm really happy to live here and was glad that we could do it in New York City. And I'm not sure how you all got here tonight, but I did want to say this. I've never been killed by hitmen, so I don't know what it's like in the moments just before you're killed by hitmen. But I bet it's not unlike when you're on the subway and you realize that a mariachi band is about to start playing. Just that brief moment where you're reading and you're like, "Oh, a guitar player. Oh, another guitar player. Oh, an accordion player. Oh, no." This is the loudest thing in the world.
Twisted wise, twisted as sure on the board. Wise,
I wanted to like take ads out in the paper, or like be, you know, do something to a tot so I get in the New York Post or something. The New York Post is my favorite newspaper. I think it's great. I read it every day. I like reading the New York Post because reading the New York Post is like talking to someone who heard the news and now they're trying to give you the gist. It's like you get the same amount of information if you grab someone on the street and you were like, "What happened today?" And they're like, "It's a perv in Queens." You'd be like, "All right, thank you." Or rather, it's like someone read a better newspaper and now they're trying to text you everything they can remember. Doesn't have to be right, just has to be short. I really do love the Post. I read it a lot, and there's a hierarchy in the New York Post. Different people that they like and different people that they don't like. And if you pay attention, you can start to identify some of the New York Post rankings that they have. The number one thing that you can be in the eyes of the New York Post is an angel. An angel is a child who has died. That is the best thing that you can be in the eyes of the New York Post. The less amount of time you live, the better in the eyes of the Post. After that, under an angel is a hero. A hero is any man who does his job. You'll a lot of times see headlines that are like, "Hero tutor teaches after school," and you're like, yeah. Down towards the bottom of the spectrum, there are pervs. Pervs touch tots. Tots are angels who haven't died yet. There are no children in the eyes of the New York Post. You're either a tot or you're dead and you're an angel. I did leave one out, sorry. Above perv is a bozo. A bozo is any man who cheats on his wife. That guy's a bozo. I remember seeing a headline when Tiger Woods cheated on his wife, and it says, "Tiger says he's sorry, but Elin says, 'Beat it, bozo.'" No, she did not. She is from another country. And even if she was from this country, no one has said bozo in 1,000 years. Who was your source on that, New York Post? Some tiny old lady that chain smokes all day long? They met her in a parking garage and they were like, Madge, give us the scoop. What did Elin say to Tiger? Ah, she told him to beat it, bozo.
I'm gonna go something to eat real quick, I think.
I'm feeling good tonight, though. I got a
Hungry.
massage recently. Went to a spa to get a massage. I went into the room to get the massage, and the woman there told me to undress to my comfort level. Those were her words. She said, I'm going to leave the room. You undress to your comfort level. So I put on a sweater and a pair of corduroy pants, and I felt safe. I'm trying to, in general, take better care of myself. I'm trying to stop smoking. I've smoked since I was 13 years old. I started when I was 13 years old because I stole 2 cigarettes from my older sister, and I hid them in a shoebox under my bed with a copy of Cosmopolitan magazine. And one day, my mom cleaned under my bed, and she found the shoebox. I came home from school, and my mom was standing there holding it, and she said, Hey, mister, I found your treasure. And I never liked the way she phrased that, you know, because that made me sound like the world's lamest pirate, like a guy whose treasure chest is 2 cigarettes and a woman's magazine. And my dad came home from work, and my mom told my dad that she'd cleaned under my bed and found a shoebox with 2 cigarettes and a Cosmopolitan, which prompted my dad to ask, how does John know how to make a Cosmopolitan? I'm trying to eat better. I was out to lunch with a friend, and I got a chicken sandwich. And the waitress said to me, oh, you're getting a chicken sandwich. Well, that comes with a choice of either salad or fries. Those were the choices, salad or fries, the 2 most different foods in the universe. That's like saying, what kind of day do you want to have? Do you want to be active and go to the bathroom or stuff? Or do you want to lay on the floor moaning? Oh, you're getting a chicken sandwich? Well, with that, you can either go for a jog or smoke crack cocaine. Oh, well... If I got a plate of crack for the table, would you have some? You'd have crack if I got a plate of crack? Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll take an order of crack. Sometimes, when people order fries, they act like it's a little adventure. They'll be like, should we get a plate of fries for the table? Should we do it? Should we share some fries? They gotta make sure that everyone's on board with it. It's like, if I get fries, you'll have a couple, right? If I get fries for the table, I know you'll have fries if I get fries. Should we do it? Yeah, let's be bad. Come on, let's do it. All right, we're gonna take a plate of fries. It's like a group of couples agreeing to do ecstasy together. I have a girlfriend now, myself, which is weird because I'm probably gay based on the way I act and behave and have walked and talked for 28 years. I think I was supposed to be gay. I think like in heaven they built like 3/4 of a gay person, and then they forgot to flip the final switch, and they just sent me out, and it was like, you marked that one gay, right? And it was like, oh no, was I supposed to? And they were like, oh man, well this will be a very interesting person. This will be a very silly person. I was definitely gay when I was a little boy. A lot of little boys are gay, you know, they're very flowy and they have hard opinions on things. I don't mean that I was a sexually active gay man when I was a little boy. That's not what I mean. When I was a little boy, I was more like a 67-year-old gay man that's kind of over it sexually, you know? I was just like an old queen. I would come out to the recess yard and be like, everyone get out of my way. I just want to sit here and feed my birds. The gym teacher would tell me to play kickball, and I'd be like, you want me to do what? Real quick, this happened pretty recently. I was in a restaurant near here in the West Village, and I was at the urinal, and an old gay man came in the bathroom with a walker like this, and he said this to me. He went, I'm either having a drink or I have to pee. You're living the golden years, kid, not me. Like, he spoke in rhymes. It was crazy. It was such a weird interaction that I wasn't sure if it actually happened. I came out of the bathroom and I asked my girlfriend, I was like, did you see like an old man follow me in the bathroom? And she was like, John, that bathroom's been closed for 40 years. Whoa! Whoa! Where was I? I'm not gay, but I might be, and I have a girlfriend, and she's a female person. It's going very well. I love her very much. And so a few months ago, she was like, okay, it's going well, so now I should meet your parents, because that's what people do when a relationship is going well. they meet each other's parents. And I've never understood that. I've never been with my girlfriend and thought like, oh, honey, tonight is going great. But do you know what would make it perfect? Charles and Ellen Mullaney. Come on, let's get them in the mix. We've been going pretty hot and heavy lately. I think it's time we bring in 2 older Catholic people. My girlfriend's a female, and then I had all these friends that are female. So when I started dating her, I was like, oh great, they'll all get along. No. Not even a little at the beginning. I don't want to make any generalizations about women because I don't know shit about women, but this is one thing I've noticed in my own personal experience is that I think women can be friends with each other, but I think it can be tricky sometimes when you try and force women to hang out with each other. I think that sometimes doesn't work. Like, I don't think you could never put together a heist of women. Does that make sense? Like, Ocean's 11 with women wouldn't work because 2 would keep breaking off to talk shit about the other 9. Or not even talk shit, just say weird passive-aggressive things while they break into the casino. Just be like, oh, I love how you just wear anything. My girlfriend's wonderful though. I listen to everything my girlfriend says. I don't mean she bosses me around. I just listen to everything she says because before I had a girlfriend, I never had someone who's always standing next to me who can just point out obvious things that are happening. Like, we'll be in a restaurant and my girlfriend will be like, you ordered your food an hour ago. It should be here by now. And I'm like, yeah, it should. It's like having a lawyer for everyday life. She'll be like, the bus driver shouldn't talk to you that way. And I'm like, no, he shouldn't. Before I had a girlfriend, I had no standard for how I should be treated as a human being. You could do anything to me. I was just like a young Motown singer. I was just shiny and dumb and easy to trick. I was like, oh man, you gonna give me a whole $100 for all of my songs? Where do I sign, Mr. Berry Gordy? And now when I'm not with my girlfriend, you can still do anything to me. I will tolerate any treatment. Like, I travel alone sometimes, you know, and I'll put up with anything. You know? Like, I'll book a ticket on some garbage airline. You know, I don't want to name an actual airline, so let's just make one up. Let's call it like Delta Airlines. So I'll book a ticket on Delta Airlines. And I'll show up at the airport. And I go, can I get on the plane now, please? And they go, no, it's delayed 9 hours. And I go, okay. And then I go to the bathroom. And then I come out of the bathroom and I go, any updates? And they go, yeah, we took off while you were in the bathroom because we hate you. Now take this meal voucher that doesn't work. Go, fetch. And I go, oh, okay. And I go over to the Wolfgang Puck Express and I go, can I have a sandwich, please? And they go, no. And I go, okay. And they go, you're a little fat girl, aren't you? And I go, no. And they go, say it. And I go, I'm a little fat girl. And then I go over to the Delta Help Desk, which is an oxymoron, and I go, can I please go home on an airplane? And they go, no. In fact, we're gonna frame you for murder. And you're gonna go to jail for 30 years. And I go, why are you doing this to me? And they go, because we're Delta Airlines. And life is a fucking nightmare. But with my girlfriend, she would just be like, let's see if Southwest has any flights. So it's better. My girlfriend is a Jewish woman, which is I did on purpose. That sounded creepy. I don't mean like, I got one. I mean like I'm not Jewish, but I've always really liked Jewish people. I just like them a lot. And I really like dating Jewish women. They're great. Because like I think a lot of problems that people have in relationships are with communication because guys don't know what women are thinking. And with Jewish women, you do not have to guess what they are thinking. They will tell you. Yeah, this is gonna get playfully anti-Semitic, so just allow it to go there. I'll get in trouble, you won't. I really do mean this though. I really admire that Jewish people, in my own personal experience, have are very like upfront with their feelings. You know, they're very vocal about their thoughts and feelings, and I think that's really admirable. You know, I'm Irish, and Irish people, they don't tell you a thing. Irish people keep it so bottled up. You know, like the plan with Irish people is like, I'll keep all my emotions right here, and then one day I'll die. Like in Ireland, it's like, your boy has died, and it's like, all right, bury the boy, do it, bury the boy. Bury the boy. Irish people don't want comfort. Look at a sweater made in Ireland. It's like a turtleneck made out of Brillo pads. I used to date Gentile women, and I did this girl. She'd just stare out the window all day long, and I'd be like, what's wrong? She'd be like, you wouldn't even understand if I told you. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? My Jewish girlfriend, I don't have to guess what's wrong. She comes in the room and she's like, my stomach hurts! Then we can move on from there. That's what I mean. She's very focused. She's very in the moment, you know, and that's a good thing in a significant other. She's very present. Jews don't daydream because folks are after them, and they gotta stay sharp, you know what I mean? They have to be there. They haven't let their minds wander since Egypt. They just stay sharp. They go, who's that? Who are you? What's that? Put that down. What's that over there? Don't do that. I'm Irish, I keep things very bottled up, and I don't drink, which is not what you're supposed to do when you're Irish. I don't drink. I used to drink, and then I drank too much, and I had to stop. That surprises a lot of audiences because I don't look like someone who used to do anything. I look like I was just sitting in a room in a chair eating saltines for like 28 years, and then I walked right out here. But I did. I used to drink a lot, and then I stopped. I don't know if anyone here is thinking about quitting drinking, but you need to know two things if you're thinking about quitting drinking. The first is that when you stop drinking and you still go to parties where people are drinking, they will have no idea what to offer you. Like, once people start drinking for the night, they forget everything that isn't alcohol. Like, I'll show up at a party and they'll be like, hey, everybody, all right, we got Coronas in the fridge, and oh, hey, Mulaney, would you like an old turnip that we found in a cabinet? Would that be good for you? Would you like that? I know you don't drink. Or my girlfriend left a NuvaRing in the fridge. Would you want that? Would that be good for you? I know you don't drink. Also, if you quit drinking, you're about to lose the best excuse you've ever had in your life, which is, I'm really sorry about last night. I was just so drunk. That is a get-out-of-jail-free card that you don't even realize you have until you lose it. I can't say that anymore. I can never be like, I'm really sorry about last night. I was just so drunk. Now I have to be like, I'm really sorry about last night. It's just that I'm mean and loud. It probably will happen again. Now, I quit drinking because I used to drink too much, and then I would black out, and I would ruin parties. Or so I'm told. When you do that enough, when you black out drinking and you do crazy things, you kind of become like Michael Jackson. Like, any story anyone says about you might be true, and even you don't know by the end. I saw an interview with Michael Jackson before he died, and they were like, is it true you bought the Elephant Man's bones? And he was like, I don't know, you know, because how could he keep track of that? So I would hear stories about myself. Here's a story I once heard about me. I guess I was 20 and I was at a party at someone's house and I blacked out drinking, and someone came out of one of the rooms at this party holding like an old antique bottle with some liquid in it, and they said, hey, is this whiskey or perfume? And apparently I grabbed it, drank all of it, and said, it's perfume. And it was. Another story I heard about myself. This one happened in high school. We had this teacher in high school whose kid went to our high school. His name was Mr. McNamara, and his son Jake McNamara went to our high school. He was a sophomore when I was a senior, so he was 2 years behind me. And Mr. McNamara was an asshole. And one weekend, he and his wife decided to leave town, which you should never do if you're an asshole. And Jake McNamara decided to throw a party at the teacher's house. Hooray! And everyone around town heard about it, and we all got up individually and thought, okay, Let's go over there and destroy the place. I walked into this party. Everyone I had ever met was there, and everyone was drinking like it was the end of the world. People were drinking like it was the Civil War and a doctor was coming to saw our legs off. It was totally unsupervised. We were like dogs without horses. We were running wild. I walked down to the basement. They had a pool table in the basement. One dude took a running start and threw his body onto the pool table and broke it in half. Another kid found out which room was Mr. McNamara's and went upstairs and took a shit on his computer. So the party was going great. I'm standing in the basement and I'm holding a red cup. You've seen movies. And I'm standing there and I'm holding a red cup and I'm starting to black out. And I guess someone said like, something, something, police. And in a brilliant moment of word association, I yelled, "Fuck the police! Fuck the police!" And everyone else joined in. 100 drunk white children yelling, "Fuck the police!" With the confidence of guys who have like already been to jail and aren't afraid of it anymore. You know, that like, "I'll serve my nickel, you come and take me" confidence. But white children. The reason someone had said something, something, police was because the police were there. So a Chicago police officer walked down the stairs and got to the bottom in the basement and looked out over a sea of drunk toddlers yelling, "Fuck the police," in his face. And he was almost impressed. He was like, wow. And then he leaned into his walkie-talkie and went, "Get the paddy wagon." And my friend John, who is now a father, this man now has a baby, he grabbed a 40, smashed it on the ground, and yelled, "Scatter!" And everyone ran in a different direction. We all ran in different directions. It was like that scene in Ratatouille when the humans come in the kitchen and all the rats go in different ways. We all ran in different directions. I ran into the laundry room and I jumped up on the washing machine and I crawled out through a window into the backyard, and now I'm running through the backyard and there was this big chain link fence and I thought, I've never climbed a fence that high before. And then I woke up at home. On Monday, I went to school because that's what we did back then. And I'm walking into the school building, and who do I see but Jake McNamara? And he says to me, "Hey, were you at my party on Saturday?" And I said, "No." You know, like a liar.
I've been really silent, and my stream is
Someone broke the pool
boring.
table. Someone took a shit on my dad's computer. But the worst thing is that someone stole these old antique photos of my grandmother, and my parents are freaking out about
I
it.
might. Okay, I'll
And I had that
probably
thought
stop
that only
streaming
blackout drunks
later.
and Steve Urkel can have.
Okay. Twisted Sprout.
Did I do that? I figured no, I wouldn't have done it. But I was never sure. Until 2 years later. Relax. I'm playing video games with this kid named Alex that we also went to high school with. 2 years later, we've graduated by now. We're playing video games for a couple hours. And then Alex says to me, "Hey, come here. I want to show you something." And he takes me into his bedroom. And then he takes me into a side room off of his bedroom. Never a good thing to have. He shows me a tiny room that is covered wall to wall in stolen antique photos from different people's parties over the years. And I said, why? Why do you do this? And Alex said, because it's the one thing you can't replace. That's the end of that story, but how fucked up is that, right? That's crazy. So I don't drink anymore. And it's weird, you know, I miss it sometimes because drinking can kind of calm your nerves, and I live in New York now, and sometimes you see things that can make you anxious. You'll see troubling things out on the street. I was coming into my apartment building one night, and I saw in front of my building a wheelchair knocked over on its side with no one in it. That's a bad thing to see. Something happened there. You hope it was a miracle. But probably not. Probably something worse. And I don't like arguments. Some people like to argue, you know, they think it's like an art. I don't like it. I think it's because really ordinary arguments can get really dramatic really quickly. Like I was talking to a friend recently, and I told him that I didn't think I believed in the death penalty, and my friend said to me, "Oh, so you're telling me that if you saw Hitler walking down the street, you wouldn't kill him?" That wasn't what I was telling you. But all right. Let's talk about this entirely new topic. What would I do if I saw Adolf Hitler just walking down the street? Well, first off, I wanted to know, what did my friend mean? Did he mean that I see a guy in like the military outfit with the little mustache? Because then I would assume that that's someone dressed as Hitler. I'm not gonna kill that guy. I'm not gonna kill an actor and ruin Indiana Jones 5 just because I don't understand costumes. Or does he mean that I'm walking down the street and I see like an old man who I think might be Hitler based on my memory of what Hitler looks like? I'm not gonna kill that guy either because I am often wrong. I'd murder him and then people would run up and be like, "Whoa, you just killed an old man." And I'd be like, "He looked like Hitler." And they're like, "Yeah, a little." I have a lot of strange interactions on the street. Years ago, I was walking down the street and a homeless guy came up to me and he walked up to me and he pushed me like that. He pushed me in the chest. And then he said these things in this order. Pushed me and he said, "Excuse me, I am homeless, I am gay, I have AIDS, I'm new in town." You're gonna close with new in town? That is not the most dramatic thing that you just said. As they say in the movie Jerry Maguire, you had me at AIDS. Here's how I would have ordered those things. I would have said, "Excuse me, I'm new in town, and it gets worse." Didn't that guy practice his, like, pitch it all in the mirror that morning? And just figure out what he was gonna say? You know, just like in the morning, just be like, "All right, what am I gonna do today? What am I gonna do? I'll walk up and say hello. No, that's too subtle. I'm gonna push him. I'll push him. And I'm gonna say, I'm new in town. No, hold back. Save it.
Okay, I think that's good.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'll push him. I go, "I have AIDS." No, that's too strong. I'll walk up to him. I'll push him. I will start with the fact that I am homeless, as that is a given. Then for backstory, I will pepper in the fact that I am gay. Which I know it's tough for gay youths on the street, but that's not like a reason for money. You can't be like, "Hey, would you help me out? I'm very gay. I'd like a few dollars." I always love how he phrased it, by the way. He didn't say I'm living on the street. He said, "I'm new in town." Like it was intriguing. Like he wanted me to set him up with somebody. Like I have a friend who's like, "There's no single guys left in Manhattan." And I'm like, "I know someone who's new in town. What are 3 other things about him?"
Very good.
Just too anxious for a lot of things. I get very nervous all the time. Not even about like major life things. Just like about in everyday situations. Like this is my
So
regular
I
speaking
think
voice,
we're good.
and if I'm in a public bathroom and
I think we can end the stream on a note.
Someone's in here.
So yeah, I think we're good. Goodbye.
They're gonna be like, I think there's a carnival barker in there.
Yeah. Okay, we're going.